Welcome back to Balderdash Academy. Our scores are Steve with nothing.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Molly with 1 pie. Nate with 2 pie. And Marie with 2 pie. So that's easy. Alan will put the actual calculations on the screen for you.
Nice.
It's time for our second pop quiz. This pop quiz is from the head of STEAM, Professor Nate Green. Nate, what do you have?
All right, thank you guys. It's so nice to see you again. It's been a long couple of weeks. So I want to start by just kind of recapping what we talked about at the last staff meeting. Who can give me the best definition of the word cyborg? Cyborg. Anyway.
Is that the game, or are you legitimately asking the question?
I'm legit asking.
Oh, okay.
It's a cousin of the skateboard.
Oh yeah.
It is a skateboard. Yes.
All right. So
I thought it was the cousin of
you.
the Cyclops. It's like a
that really helped me understand that you guys weren't paying attention at the staff meeting.
True. Yeah. So I wasn't even there.
All right, once again, the Oxford Languages Dictionary defines it as a fictional or hypothetical person who has physical abilities that are extended beyond normal human limitations by mechanical elements built into the body. Think, the Borg from Star Trek.
Mm-hmm. Borg.
Yep.
Now, which brings me to Neil Harbison. He is the world's first legally recognized cyborg. So there is something about him that makes him a cyborg, something that increases his human limitations by mechanical elements. What is that makes him a cyborg? Here's the game.
That's the game. Okay.
This is the game.
We're in.
So what makes Neil Harbison a cyborg? Let's go with Marie first.
Yeah, sure. He has a mechanical eyeball. This eyeball is able to detect weather before it happens. He is able to use his mechanical eyeball to look into the air, and the particles and molecules that are already in the air compute to his mechanical eyeball and tell him what is to be expected in the approximate next 16 hours. Weather-wise, specifically.
Wow, that's that he should go into the news. All right, now.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah, I know. He's missing a career there. Steve, what makes Neil Harbeson a cyborg?
So he was the first person to ever wear a Bluetooth headset, one of those ones that you talk into that people don't use anymore. At the same time, he was wearing a pair of those Nike shoes that lace themselves up from Back to the Future, which are actually real now. And he also coincidentally was wearing the prototype Google Glass glasses. So if you're wearing those three things at the same time, you're technically a cyborg. Also, he's from Western Pennsylvania, so he's a Pittsburgh.
Nice.
Thank you. I had to slip that in.
Okay. All right.
Pandering pie?
Yeah.
So
I think I lost my chance of getting any pie tonight. With that. Ugh, so hungry.
Sounds
too.
like your typical Saturday night.
Yeah. True, Molly.
All right, Molly, what makes Neil Harbison a cyborg?
Okay, well, Neil actually, people don't know this, but he didn't start out human. He actually started out more Borg. He went to see the Wizard of Oz down the Yellow Brook Lane, and he actually was bestowed a heart. And that heart is the human part of him. And the tin that was that is his body, I shall say, is the Borg. So it's actually not what machinery made him a cyborg. It's what human part made him. And he's very thankful to the Wizard to this day.
That is amazing. So we have the brave little toaster with his blanket. And Bob, what made Neil Harbison a cyborg?
So I remember reading about this in Wired. It made national news. Neil was one of the very first people to have lightning strike him while wearing Bluetooth headphones, thereby permanently sealing the headphone in his ear. Because of that, he can now increase the volume and have better than normal human hearing through that one earpiece. The problem is when he sleeps, he has to plug his head in.
So fused Bluetooth earpiece, which comes with a surcharge of charging at night.
Exactly.
Those are all fantastic answers. Before we move into how many mathematical pies are going to be doled out here in this bakery, I just want to tell you what the real answer is. You guys were really close. I feel like I don't even need to say this, but he was born with the inability to see color. It was really bad. He could only see things in black and white. What he did was he found somebody who remains unnamed and uncredited to implant a chip in the back of his head. This is my bald spot. Thank
you for the tour.
You're welcome. And
I'm still working on mine.
Chip,
I'll get there. Don't worry.
You'll get. I know you will. The chip has a fiber optic cable that comes up above his head and kind of hangs right here. It's kind of like an antenna, and it
is this real?
Yes, it is 100% real.
Yeah,
and it can pick up colors, and it changes those colors into vibrations on the chip on his head, so he hears colors. And so what he said. This is a quote from what he said at a TED Talk. He said, quote, "At the start, I had to memorize the names you give to each color, and I had to memorize the notes. But after some time, all this information became a perception. When I started to dream in color, I felt like the software and my brain had united."
Synesthesia.
So
Bless him.
Now we come to the fruitful part of this.
Yes.
Where you get to dole out some mathematical pie.
Fruit pie.
So we have
Bluetooth thing.
Yeah.
Like, totally. I don't like anything put in anybody's ears. Right. So those are great ideas. I love the idea of having a AccuWeather eyeball. It's like really great. Kind of maybe kind of a character in the Avengers or something like that. Right.
Patent pending.
Molly has got the pie for the Tin Man. It's just so touching, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Right? Yeah, definitely.
If I only had a heart.
Definitely.
Tin Man on the yellow brick path.
Yeah. It was
the famous yellow brick path.
Right.
See, the yellow brick road was sensationalized. It was actually just a path, but for the movie and the book, they turned it into a road.
Wasn't he from Boston? Wasn't the guy? Was it the Scarecrow or the Thin Man was from Boston?
I
don't know.
Ray Bolger, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Right?
I love that Bob knows this. Of course Bob knows this.
And that is the truth, but what's next could be a lie, because our next game is Lie Again.
Let's go.
And that is actually a truth. You can look it up. I will read a weird or unusual fact about a select member of the faculty. Now, this statement can be true, or it can be a lie. Our visiting professor and fellow faculty members may question the subject to better understand whether or not the statement is the truth or a lie. Either way, the subject must convince everyone else that the unusual fact is true, no matter how absurd it sounds.
This
right?
This is for points, too. Okay.
This is for points. Now,
All the pies.
the truth is, Marie once had to dress as Little Red Riding Hood for an Angry Orchard ad. Isn't that right, Marie?
Yes, it is.
Who has our first question for Marie? Steve, go ahead.
When was this, Marie?
It was last fall.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been the fall of 2019.
Was this a regional campaign?
Pre-corona.
Oh.
Was it a regional or yeah, it was filmed. I don't know. I haven't actually seen the final commercial for this yet.
So
I don't know
video commercial.
Yes, it was a video, and it was actually in an orchard in Leamington. And yeah, I had to dress as Little Red Riding Hood, and I borrowed the costume from Mad Horse. Yes, Molly.
Who booked you in this character?
Angry Orchard?
Wait, Angry Orchard does their own booking?
Yeah. Who are you booked through?
Dirigo Talent Agency.
And for whom was the company that was filming the commercial? Because it's not Angry Orchard, it's their marketing agency.
No, they hired the Knack Factory out of South Portland.
They're so good.
And
hey, don't advertise for them.
I love those guys.
No, we don't love
they
them.
are. They're phenomenal.
Really
the Knack Factory are great people. And I've done a few different shoots. I've done a few different commercials with them, and every single time I have like the greatest experience. They are super kind people, and they know that I'm an improviser, so they knew that they could just give me like a scene and not have to like, these are your specific lines you must memorize. They knew that I was going to be able to just like kind of go with the flow. Yeah.
All right, give us a rundown of what you shot, of how, you know, and how you expect the commercial would come out. Like, give us the storyline.
Well, it was for a cider. It was for a hard cider, Angry Orchard. And so we were in. It was filmed, I would imagine, to be like that scene in The Wizard of Oz when the trees
when Little Red Riding Hood shows
apples. No, when the trees are throwing the apples at Dorothy and them when they're walking down the road.
Oh,
and so
the scary
I was
part.
Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah, that is a scary part. As a kid, I was also terrified of the flying monkeys. There were no flying monkeys in this commercial, and there was no wizard or anybody from the world of Oz in this commercial. But the trees were obviously just trees. They were not CGI'd when I was there, but they had us be near these really large trees so that they could put faces in them, like the packaging of the Angry Orchard. They have faces in the trees. So I had to just be like, I was in this red dress with a red cape and a hood, and I had a little basket, and I was picking up apples as I went, and I had to pretend to not see the like wolf man that was behind me. And so all I did was like literally play like an innocent girl, just like walking along the orchard, picking up apples and putting them in my basket. And that was all I did. And then I would like make comments on how beautiful the apple was, which was part of the improvising part of it. They didn't have me have an actual script. They were just like, we want you to respond to the things you're picking up. And I don't think that any of my voice stuff is going to actually end up in it because it was mostly wide shots.
Right.
So they were setting scene because the trees in the commercial, I think, were going to be the focal point. And then like me as the little girl was just like the like scenic setting, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it. Yeah.
Any other questions for Marie?
David, it looked like you did.
You drink Angry Orchard cider?
Do I drink Angry Orchard cider? Or in the commercial, did I?
Yeah, both.
I used to drink a lot of cider, and I had actually sort of eased off. Some of it's really, really sugary, and I find Angry Orchard to be very sugary. I was gifted a 6-pack to take home with me as part of like because they had some like merchandising around, and so they were showing me the boxes and like showing me how the trees in the setting were going to look like the trees on the packaging. And so I went home with some Angry Orchard, and I think I ended up giving it away to friends, to be honest with you.
Oh, not going to be a sponsor. Not going to be a sponsor.
So how do they handle
Any more questions?
the payroll aspects?
Oh, true.
Payroll?
Yeah.
Like, how was the payment handled? You know,
I received a check from Dirigo Talent as my agent, and so they take their percentage and then they pay that. So I think it was the Knack Factory paid Dirigo for my services, and then Dirigo took their cut, and then I got my check.
Flat rate or hourly?
Thank you.
Flat rate.
How long did it take to shoot?
Half day, full day?
I was there for probably like 6 hours, but they told me it would be up to 10.
What'd you eat from craft
sandwich.
services?
They didn't really have full-on craft
You just had some
services.
apples.
But I did get an email the day before.
Some craft singles.
Yeah, apples and Angry Orchard. I got an email the night before asking me what kind of sandwich I wanted, and I elected for
That's
turkey.
Daring.
I have a turkey
Standard. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That adds up.
And it was
I've
bottles
seen you ask
of
for
water.
turkey sandwiches.
So they
Okay.
made commercial in Maine.
Yeah. There's an orchard in Leamington.
Where do they make it?
Now,
where's that based? Where's
I don't know.
from?
It's a national company.
National thing, or is that like
Yeah, it is. I think it's
Yeah.
actually, it might be owned by Budweiser.
Bush, yeah. Might
Yeah.
be.
I have a question.
Wait.
So
Is that right?
this orchard that you were shooting in can you describe, was it like, what was the landscape like? I know there were trees around, there were apple trees, but like, was it on a mountain? Was it on was it flat, or, like,
It was
where
flat. It was flat.
okay.
And the like the pathways, aisles, whatever.
Sure, yeah.
The area
Tree
in between
The
the, two
road.
lines of trees. The road.
None of us are arborists. You can make up a word.
There was probably like at least 25 feet in between the rows of the trees, because the camera people were like right on the tree line of one row, and I was like behind the tree line of the next, because I was like behind the trees.
Okay.
All
what time
right.
of year was this?
It was fall of last year. It was like end of September, I think. So like the trees had just
Pre-corona.
pre-corona.
Back when we were all allowed on stage.
Yeah,
So
and sets.
Any other questions? Any other questions for Marie?
Let's
So-
wrap this bad boy up.
You've heard
Yep.
the questions. Let's hear the conclusion. Steve, truth or a lie?
You always start with me, and I take the longest. I don't know why a national chain is shooting an ad in Leamington. I don't know, because they're based out of. Where's Bush based out of? Virginia? Why would they be in
Well,
Saskatchewan.
she
Portland?
did say that it was a regional ad, not a
Okay.
national.
But still, regional ads could be shot anywhere. They don't have to be shot.
Yes,
in the
they
region
can.
they're in. Ugh. But that's the sort of thing Marie would have her hands in. That sort of pie, and she would make an amazing Little Red Riding Hood.
She was.
If I was going to cast a Little Red Riding Hood movie, I never thought of this, but Marie would be my first choice.
I'll
I'd go
start
with
And
with-
I have a
Zombie Annie.
costume.
I'm going to say just because I think the last couple Maries were true, so I'm going to say this one is a lie.
All right, lie for Steve. Molly, what's your call?
Gosh darn it. See, the problem with this is that she can take all this information that is true to her real life. Like, I know you're with Dirigo Talent. I know the guys at Net Factory. I know how this works. But I know that you've done this stuff before, so you can incorporate all that into it. So it's really pissing me off because I'm not sure. It's probably false, but I'm going to say true.
All right,
What?
true
All
for
that
Molly.
reasoning
Nate, what do you
just to
have?
end up with true. Ah.
It's a lie. Like Steve said, the past few have been true, and they've all centered in her distant past. This is very recent, and it is very close to what she could craft a well-made lie out of, which is what I know you like giving people, Bob. So I'm going with a lie.
Yeah.
All right, David, you have Steve with a lie, Molly with the truth, Nate with a lie. What's your call? Is she telling the truth or is it a lie?
I think it's a lie.
Lie.
Yeah.
All right. So we have Steve with a lie, Molly with the truth, Nate with a lie, David with a lie. Marie, fess up.
I have done a focus group for Angry Orchard, but I have never been in an Angry Orchard commercial.
Ah, got him.
Focus.
That's good though. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
But I was actually hired for a focus group to go and give them feedback on their packaging.
Ah,
So-
there you go. There you
Bob
go.
did not know that.
Bob, wow,
I do
you
not.
Because regional ads are not usually like that, right? Like regional ads aren't like using CGI. Regional ads are like
Yeah.
guys that are like, like he's like standing there, and all of a sudden there's like a background of like boots.
Not necessarily. No, not necessarily. It depends on the budget. Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Depends on the budget.
Really?
Yeah. This is my life.
Some banks, right? And commercials. The banks regional commercials. They're kind of.
Now, I also don't think there's 25 feet between rows of apples. Apple trees.
That is a spacious
That's where you lost an
orchard.
eight. That's where you
That
lost
is
him.
a waste of
Well,
space.
okay, it has to be enough to have depth.
And
Or a flat orchard in Leamington.
Yeah, exactly. The orchard I know in Leamington is on a hill.
Right.
All right,
All
so-
orchards are on hills.
David,
So, no,
you
yeah,
have
very. Never mind.
Steve got it right, Molly got it wrong, Nate got it right. How would you like to score?
Who gets points?
However
Whoever
you
you
want.
want to give points to. You can give it to Marie for crafting a story. You can give it to everybody.
I think you gotta
Give it to yourself.
You gotta
Sure.
give points to people who are right. Right.
All right.
Ow!
Yes.
I mean, I
So-
got some pie?
Steve is finally on the board.
What? This is crazy.
But you know what? I think only a half pie.
No! So close.
Sucker.
I was too excited. I
One-
lost half a pie.
What is
All
that,
right,
1
so-
point.
That's the end of our first half. Our points are in last place with half pie, Steve.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Next, we have a tie between Molly and Nate with 2 pie each. In the lead, we have Marie with 2 1/2 pie. So join us when we return with Coach Steve and Mask Charades, only on Balderdash Academy. Go Dashers!
All right.
Marie, I saw you use your excuse to just flex your arms. You're like,
Yeah,
the trees
yeah.
were this far apart.
Yeah, you did.
And this,
You're like, look
this
at
far
this.
apart. And they were like
I've been
over there.
working
And
out in quarantine.
It's been since June 17th was my last real workout. Ugh.
If you're Tennessee Williams, you might yell, Stella! And if you're Gordon Haywood, you may utter, Daddy's always happy. Find out what's so special about Tennessee and Gordon in the next episode of Balderdash Academy.
Thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. You can find us on your favorite podcast service as Balderdash Academy. Go Dashers!